friends, I am Antika and in this video I will be discussing another chlorophyceae algae called Volvox. Previously I have done a video on Chlamydomonas and here today I will be doing the video of Volvox where I will be discussing about the general features of Volvox, its structure at colonial and cellular level, and in the next part of the videos I will be discussing about the reproductive strategy of Volvox. Now, this Volvox and Chlamydomonas, they are both used as model organisms for in both forward as well as reverse genetics. They are also used as a model organism to study different metabolism because they have a very they are haploid in nature, and so any mutation can be easily observed in them. Also they can be easily grown and they have a short generation time. So from the applied research point of view, both Volvox and Chlamydomonas, they are very important green algae. Before I start the main video, there is a quiz for you. Rotifer, you have to name the rotifer that lives inside the Volvox colony. There are four options. If you know the answer, write it in the comment section, or I will be discussing it at the end of this video. Taxonomic position of Volvox. Volvox belong to the division Chlorophyta, class Chlorophyceae. Now, all the Chlorophyceae algae, all the Chlorophyceae are the green algae. The Chlorophyceae, they are green algae. That is the chief photosynthetic pigment will be both chlorophyll A and B. Apart from this chief chlorophyll photosynthetic pigment, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, it also contain pigment like xanthophyll and carotene. So all the Chlorophyceae, they are the green algae with chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B pigment, and the reproduction in the Chlorophyceae, they can range from both isogamy to oogamy through anisogamy, and they are mostly freshwater living, though some marine species are also found. And all the cell wall of all the chlorophytes, they are mostly made up of cellulose, though sometimes hemicellulose, pectin and chitin are also present. Now this order Volvocales. Now order Volvocales, it contains all the microscopic green algae, mostly single but sometimes colonial also, and they are motile. These order Volvocales only. This order is the only order of green algae that has all the motile algae. That is, though motility is found in the reproductive stages of all the algae, but only in this order Volvocales we can find the vegetative stage also motile. So motility is due to flagella. Flagellation can be in Volvocales, flagellation can be either 2 or 4 and of equal size, that is they will be isoconch, and the flagella is smooth, that is whiplash type. Sometimes it happens that mostly they are unicellular, but sometimes they are also seen to be in colonial form. And the colony, each cells in the colony, they do not have interdependence so far the photosynthesis, respiration and excretion are concerned. However, there can be seen a difference in the polarity of the colony as a whole, because some cells of the colony, they are responsible for the motility of the colony as a whole, and other cells, they are responsible for the reproduction. And this Volvocaceae, family Volvocaceae. Now, in the family, this order Volvocales, they have 6 families: Chlamydomonadaceae, Volvocaceae, Polyblepharoideaceae, Chlorodendraceae, Phacotaceae, and Spiralaceae. So here we are discussing we are discussing Volvox, so it will be Volvocaceae. Now, this family Volvocaceae, this consists of flagellated cells, and the colony as a whole, they swim, and the colony the colony is it is protected by a mass of gelatinous mass of hydroxyl proline rich glycoprotein, and the colony can be of various shapes. That is, it can be flat shaped like in gonium, the flat shaped gonium. Then it can be Eudorina or Pandorina, which is spherical, and Volvox, which is spherical and hollow. So Volvox was first it was reported by Anton van Leeuwenhoek, and the total number of species in Volvox are 20. The common Volvox species are Volvox carteri, Volvox aureus, Volvox globata. So the habitat of Volvox is that they are found in fresh water, and this fresh water can be either temporary puddle or permanent water bodies, but they has to be stagnant, and Volvox prefer eutrophied water, that is high amount of nitrogen and high amount of sulfur and organic matter. There should be partial shading of this water, and this water can preferably it should be a shallow water. Otherwise, they can move up the water column. They are motile, so they prefer shallow water. And it is cosmopolitan in distribution. The species of Volvox that are found in India are these species: Volvox aureans, Volvox meri, Volvox rousti, Volvox africans, Volvox globata, and Volvox prolificans. Now, if we observe the colony, we see that the Volvox colony, it is spherical. It is spherical in shape, and it contains many many number of cells depending upon the species of Volvox. Now, the size Volvox starts as 0.5, then 0.5 or 0.2 in diameter. Usually in old colonies, the diameter it increases, and the colony is synobium type. That is, the number of cells in the colony will be fixed, and the number of cells in the colony will depend upon what type of species it is. So this colony, the cells, they are arranged as a single plate. Here we see this is the cells are arranged in a single plate, and the central hollow region, it is either filled by gelatin, that is in Volvox aureus, or they are filled by water, that is in Volvox globata. So here we see the colony is spherical and hollow, with a uni layer of cells in the periphery, and central region is either filled with water or gelatin. Now this gelatin, it is rich in it is glycoprotein, and that glycoprotein is rich in this hydroxyproline amino acid. And the sugar part is mostly arabinose and galactose. And unlike other volvocine algae like Pandorina and Eudorina, this Volvox is just have a gelatinous outer layer. It does not have a thick differentiated envelope. So the Volvox colony is defined or differentiated by a mucilaginous envelope, and unlike Eudorina and Pandorina, they do not have a differentiated envelope. Now each cell here we see here in this diagram, we see that each cell, they are connected to the neighboring cell. Each cell is connected to the neighboring cell, here we see, by cytoplasmic connection. So this cytoplasmic though there is cytoplasmic connection, but each cell in the Volvox colony, they are independent when it comes to nutrition, excretion, respiration. So also the cytoplasmic strands, though they are absent in certain species of Volvox, mainly Volvox monanae and Volvox montanae and Volvox tertius. The colony of Volvox has a polar organization. That is, the anterior side, that is when the Volvox colony moves, only the anterior side, that is this side, the cells in the anterior side, they will have they are mostly responsible for the movement. They have well developed flagella. But on the posterior side, say for this on the posterior side, that is this side, the cells of the Volvox colony do not have flagellation. So this non-flagellated cells, they under normal condition, they are just like the somatic cells, but when there is a growth condition is sufficient, it converts itself to gonidia, which has mainly 4 to 32 cells in the posterior side of the colony. They develop into gonidia. Gonidia are nothing but these the cells, they either if they lose if it is in the anterior, they lose flagellation, they turn to spherical structure, that is, this is the gonidia. They turn to spherical, and they start dividing to produce a new colony. So this is how the polar organization of the colony works. Now let us discuss about the cell structure of this Volvox. Now this Volvox, they are generally pyriform cells. Cells are generally pyriform, but a certain species, that is Volvox globata and Volvox rousselleti, they have a spirella type of cells, where the cells are circular in shape. And generally the cells are pyriform, like here it is shown in the diagram. The cell is pyriform, that is pure shaped, just like the cells of Chlamydomonas. Except these two species, all the cells are just like the Chlamydomonas. So they have a surrounding matrix of glycoprotein, and inner to it is the cell wall, which is mostly cellulosic, and inner to that is the plasma membrane, and then the most important structure is the flagella. Here we see the flagella, two in number, and this flagella, at the base of it are the contractile vacuoles, two in number, one beneath, one close to one flagella, and the base of it is the blepharoplast. Base of it is the blepharoplast. P L E P H A R O P L A S T, the blepharoplast. The contractile vacuoles are two in number per cell, but fewer cells, especially this spirella type of cells found in V. globata and V. rausselii, they have more than one type of contractile vacuoles. So, apart from this flagella, blepharoplast, contractile vacuole, they also have this eye spot just in the anterior part of the chloroplast. Here we see the chloroplast. This is the cup shaped. Here we see the cup shaped chloroplast, and in the anterior of it is the eye spot. Eye spots are just photoreceptive organs, that is they detect light and help and decide the direction of the movement of the colony. So according to the light, these flagella, they move just in synchronously. All the flagella of all the cells in the colony, all the anterior cells in the colony, they move their flagella synchronously, so that the movement occurs towards light, and movement is just like a rolling type of movement. So this eye spot is the sole organ responsible for the photoreception, which in turn causes movement of the. So for the size of volvox colony is concerned, as different species of volvox have different number of cells in their synopia, so their size also varies. So volvox aureus, for example, have a very small microscopic colony, but volvox globata, it forms a macroscopic colony. Also, we know that due to as a colony center is filled with either water or the gelatinous matrix, so they are very light, and so they are mostly planktonic. But sometimes it happens that certain volvox, they are negatively buoyant also. For example, volvox barbare, they have to swim, that is they have to continuously swim with their flagella in order to stay afloat. Volvox is of immense ecological as well as economic importance, because first is that it fixes its food by photosynthesis, so it is contributing towards increasing the oxygen level in water due to the process of photosynthesis. Also, they are the as if they are the primary producers, they are the very first step to the aquatic food chain. So they are very important in the aquatic ecosystem. Also, for applied research also, they are a model organism, especially Volvox cartieri. Volvox carteri is a model organism for not only understanding cell development and differentiation, but also it is very good in model organism in both forward as well as reverse genetics. How? Why? Because first is that Volvox, it is very easy to culture because it can grow in eutrophic water and no special care required. Also, it has a fast generation time. Being a haploid organism, any mutation that occurs will be immediately because generation time is less, so it will be immediately detected within a very short span of time. Also, there are very few types. So in Volvox we have just 20 species, so we can easily demonstrate and we can easily run an experiment in Volvox. And but one thing is that is Volvox, or you can say it's also a part of the bond scum. If there is a certain threshold of if there is more eutrophication, then it may cause certain species of Volvox, especially this Volvox aureus. Volvox aureus, it is responsible for the bloom due to green algae in the water bodies. So this is the only one negative point, that is it forms a bloom. Otherwise, Volvox is of good economic importance. Now we come to the end of this video. It is the quiz time. Rotifer that lives inside the Volvox colony are, there are a few examples. All these are aquatic organisms. These are microscopic aquatic organisms. All these are, but here the first option, Proalis parasitica, this lives inside the colony. This water bug, it lives inside the colony of the Volvox and it feeds on the Volvox, and when it can detect that the Volvox colony is dying, it moves out of the Volvox colony to go and hunt for another Volvox colony, where it creates a hole inside the Volvox colony and enters that colony and leaves as a parasite, feeding on the Volvox cells till that colony also dies. But other species, for example Daphnia cladocera, the second option, Daphnia cladocera, and Diplostaca, all these these type of water bugs, they also, these microscopic water bugs, they also feed on Volvox, but they do not live inside the colony. With this, I come to the end of the first part of the video, where I have already discussed about the general feature of Volvox and how about the colony and the cell structure and its ecological economic importance. In the next part of the video, that is a part 2 of this video, I will be discussing about the reproductive strategies of Volvox. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll be soon making the next part, that is the reproductive strategy of Volvox, in my upcoming video. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like it, share it with your friends. Do subscribe to get the latest video updates. Thank you.